bearings on both sides of my wife's 2003 Escape are shot. Also, the seals in the transaxle back here are also leaking. So I'm doing both at the exact same time. Now what that involves is removing this arm, because you're gonna have to press the bearings out of this. This does not have discs, so you got to disconnect your brake lines. Well, sometimes they disconnect, sometimes they don't. Unfortunately, on the other side of this, on the other wheel, that didn't happen, and I broke the line. So now I'm gonna have to replace that, and of course you'll have to bleed the brakes once you're there. So you gotta take your shoes off of it, and then disconnect your emergency brake cable. So that's loose, and then you need to loosen your upper control arm and your lower control arm, and then you gotta slide your drive shaft out, and that is real fun. It can be done, as you can see, it can be done. So the next difficult part is the up part of your seal up here. I've got to hopefully there's a bolt and a sleeve in here. I've disconnected the bolt. Now I gotta see if I can pop the sleeve out, and that'll drop that down, and then I'll be able to do the get this pressed out. Excuse me. But that'll we'll keep you informed as how we're doing so far. And what I'm doing today is I'm going to go and pull the drive shafts out and replace the seals in there, and that'll do it for tonight. And I'll keep you informed on this other issue here. Hopefully because it's got a cam on there, so you can adjust the camera on this rear end. So anyway, I will catch me on the next video. You can catch me on Facebook, Dana Crosby Biz, and give me a like, and also you can find this on YouTube under the Ford Escape. I look forward to comments and any advice you might have or questions. So look forward to it. Talk to y'all soon. Hey, Dana here. And if you've been following me, I'm working on my wife's 2003 Ford Escape. She was complaining the other day that it was grinding in the rear, and I'd known for a while that the rear seals for the drive shafts were leaking, and I'd fill them up with gear oil every time I changed the oil in it, and I was afraid that was the problem. Well, when she says it was on the outside and not inside, I suspected the wheel bearings. So I jacked it up, and sure enough, the wheels wobble on both sides. So I couldn't have her drive it any longer, because there was no telling when one would seize up and then we'd have an issue. So I wound up doing the wheel for the rear transfer case shaft seals at the same time here. And they're located back here, and I got those done already. And I still got to do the yoke seal. But the only problem is with that, you go to anybody and you got to get a yoke seal. There's two different seals, which means you got to go in. You got to find out the size of the ring gear in there. And I pulled the pumpkin cover off already, and unfortunately the ring gear is on the other side, is rotated the other side, so I can't read it at the moment. So I got to get a shaft in, drive shaft in there and spin it. So that's my next little project. But anyway, with the bearings, you got to press them out. And I have a portable hydraulic kit, and I was able to push the hubs out. well, I don't have a press, so I'm gonna have to take the whole assembly to a buddy of mine and have it pressed out. In this case here, I had to disconnect it from inside the saddle that holds the bushing. It's also got your camber washers for adjustment. And I tried to get that sleeve out, but of course, being the age it is, 140,000 miles later, that sleeve was not coming out of there. So I had no choice but to get a Sawzall and go ahead and zip the bushing sleeve and drop it down. And I had to go to the dealer and get a brand new kit here, 80 bucks, and have that pressed in at the same time. But I come to find out, a buddy of mine, he says, hey, you know, I've got a kit that I got from Harbor Freight for 100 bucks that you can press the bearings out on the vehicle. He says, great, little, what do we say, time short and $1 short. So I haven't messed with the other side. So the only thing I did on the other side was break a brake line because I don't have discs. And on this side here, I was able to disconnect the brake line without breaking the line. I don't know how and I don't know why, but anyway, my luck. So I got to replace a bushing on one side and a brake line on the other. And that's about where I sit at the moment. So what I'm working on right now is pressing the bearings out of a lower swing arm for a 2003 Ford Escape. Unfortunately, I damaged the bushing that goes in here on the vehicle, so I had no choice but to cut it off of the vehicle. And you can find out there's a tool. It's called a bearing tamer, and you can actually pop the bearings out while it's still on the vehicle. And this is part of the tool. You just stick this thing in here, and then actually get it right here. You got a extension piece here. You sit right on the outside, and then you put your shaft through, and then on the back side of it, you've actually got the right size. Picture on the back side of this thing. You've got all kinds of adapters, and you get the right one that'll fit right in here, and now you got leverage. And then use your breaker bar, or I use the impact, and it'll pop that bearing right on out of there. And as you can see, I've already got. And then do the opposite. You just do the opposite. You get the right adapter, and then you go the other direction, and then just push it right on in there. So that's you can get it. Check Advance, AutoZone, see if they have them. But I actually went to Harbor Freight, and I picked this kit up for less than 100 bucks, and it's going to cost you 50 to 100 bucks just to have somebody press it out for you. Not only that, but you got to take it off the vehicle to do that. So I figured it was probably a good idea to go pick it up myself, and then I can get this thing. I can actually take it off the other side, which is going to be the next thing. I got to do this side here, and now that I've got the kit, I can actually pop this thing off and put it right back in. And unfortunately, this does not have discs. This has good old drums, and I broke the brake line, lowering it so I could get the drive shafts out, because the drive shaft seals are leaking, and I put new ones in. So my quick tip today is you do not have to
remove that lower assembly to get those bearings out. So get your kit called the bearing tamer, or talk to a buddy who might have one, and do it right on the vehicle, because it'll save you a lot of. Shoot, I paid $100 for that tamer, and unfortunately, this new bearing right here that I messed up is 80 bucks. So just for the cost of the tamer, you can pop that out. You'd have to cut that off anyway because it's been sitting there so long. And now you'll be able to do other vehicles. You can do front bearings with it, you can do back bearings with it, and more and more vehicles come out, they start having that rear suspension, independent suspension on it. So that's my tip for today, and find me on Facebook, Dana D. Crosby, and you can also leave comments, because this is going up on YouTube as well. Leave comments there, and leave some questions or comments, and I'll feel free to answer them, no problem. You have a great day.